So the transfer window closed at 11 o'clock last night, and West Ham made exactly 0 signings on deadline day, which means the total of the whole summer we made 5 new signings. Hernandez, Arnautovic, Hart, Zabaleta, and Haksabanovic, the young. Where's he from? I think it's Sweden. Could be Sweden. So they're the 5 signings we made, and we shipped out a shitload of players, making space for new signings, and we just didn't seem to make any. And it's leaving the fans a bit bewildered, if we're honest. We had a few weird stories. Like a week ago, apparently the deal for Carvalho was done. It was a done deal, and we never signed him. Apparently it was an issue of about between something like 2 and 5 million euros, which we weren't willing to pay that extra. And Bilic said he was the only signing that he wanted to make after the 5 signings we got. And with the amount of players we sold, bearing in mind, after we signed the 4 players that are good signings. Don't get me wrong, they're good signings, and they've improved our first team. After we sold them, and after we bought them and we sold a few players, he said it was going to be a 1 in, 1 out business. And then we started selling and loaning out more and more players, and we weren't getting any more in. Like Snodgrass went out on loan. We sold Faguli. We sold. Who else did we sell? I can't really think, to be honest. We sold a few players early doors, like Nordveit left, and we sent out Cullen and Burke on loan. Oxford went out on loan. These are players which are adding to squad depth. I don't feel that we actually have a stronger squad than we did last season. I feel like we have a stronger first team, but a weaker squad. We now have no depth in our squad. So I don't actually think we're going to do any better than we did last season. And I predicted that we would finish 8th, I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I predicted 8th. And I don't see us finishing in the top half now, because our squad is so weak. Like we have 3 strikers: Hernandez, Carroll, Sacco. And Sacco, he doesn't want to be at the club. He doesn't. He skipped training, got a private jet to France to try and sign for Rennes, and passed the medical. He'd done it all by himself. The bid was made, and West Ham said, no, you're not being sold. Bilic has said that he doesn't rate him. Apparently Sacco's having talks with Bilic or something to try and get over this, which is quite ridiculous, but I don't get why we didn't sell him. Yeah, we could use the striker, but if he doesn't want to be here, why bother selling? Why bother keeping him? You know, he doesn't want to play for the club. It's the same with Payet. What if we had kept Payet? That would have been what would have been the point, really? It's the exact same with Saka. I don't get why we kept him. Also, this is a story. After they said no, he flew back to England, to try and have talks with players at the club. His advisors had a horse racing in Cheltenham, which won, by the way, which is something. Yeah, and then he went to London Stadium, I think it was, to talk to someone. No one was there to talk to him, so he drove to Rush Green, and again, no one was there to talk to him. So, in all fairness, this is a human being. You know, you can't just play him around like that. You got to, if he wants to go, you got to at least talk to him. I really don't get why we didn't sell him. And I think we also had a bid from Crystal Palace or something that was rejected. We had apparently we were in talks with Andre Gomez, and nothing happened. We've been offered Jack Wilshere. We got offered Nicolas Gaitan. We got offered Brozovic from Inter Milan in a swap deal for Bonner, and we just decided on none of them. I don't understand. I feel like Bilic is just being too stubborn, and the board have said that they don't want him. No, they've not said they don't want him. They've given him a few more games to try and turn it around. But has he just not signed anyone so that whoever comes in has a more difficult job? Is it like that? Is he just stabbing us in the back or something? I really don't get it. But our window started off so well, you know, making these great signings, and then for 3 weeks we didn't sign anyone. You know, we signed Hart, Hernandez and Arnautovic in the space of about 2 weeks. We knew about Zabaleta at the start of the season, and Haksabanovic. We signed like 4 of our players in 2 weeks span, and then the rest of the window we were doing nothing apart from that Carvalho deal, which lasted about a week and a half and we didn't even sign him. I really don't get why we didn't sign him. I don't get why the board actually paid out, wouldn't pay out for Carvalho the extra 2 to 5 million euros or whatever it was. They were willing to do it in bonuses. Just pay the money, but just pay up front. He's a good player. Why didn't we sign him? Bilic wanted him. He didn't want anyone else, and we didn't sign him. He would have fit straight into our first team, and that would have had squad depth because someone would have had to get dropped who can come in for injuries. If Hernandez gets injured, we're fucked. It's as simple as that. There's nothing we can do about it. I just don't get it, and I don't get why Bilic was being stubborn and not signing anyone like Gaetan. Just get someone on loan to add to the squad depth. I really don't understand, unless he's planning on bringing in some of the young players like Samuelson, who can come on the wing, or Queener, who can play on the wing, or Holland. You know, just trying to bring in some of the young players. Then fair enough, but they're not really that experienced. Are they going to be able to cope with the Premier League at the moment? I mean, Rice done it, Oxford done it. They came in and they played well. Has he got faith in the youth? We haven't really seen it that much. You know, apart from Oxford and Rice, none of the other players from the youth team have really got a look in. So, I really don't understand it. I mean, what happened? Where did all the money? We moved stadiums to try and compete. We've increased our worth, the amount of money coming in on a match day. You know, what about all that bloody popcorn that we sold? Where's the money gone from the popcorn sales? I don't get it. Anyway, we're going to struggle this season. We're really going to struggle this season. Is it the board's fault? I don't know. Is it the manager's fault? I don't know. You know, it's like the board is blaming Bilic and Bilic is blaming the board. I really don't get what's happening. Like, what is going to happen with West Ham? We're really going to struggle this season. If we get injuries, like we've already got injuries. Lanzini's injured. Antonio's not 100% fit. Chiate's not 100% fit. Reed's injured. You know, if we get more injuries, like say Hernandez, Reed, and Chiate got injured, and Lanzini, 4 injuries, that is like 4 of our best players. If we lose the spine, so Hernandez gets injured, who have we got? We've got Sacco and we've got Carroll, both who are injury prone. One that doesn't want to play for us. We've got, who would come in for Chiate? Declan Rice maybe, yeah. But Noble and Obiang are probably already going to be playing. Fernandez, you know, he's not been amazing. You know, he looked good when he came on last season, again when we played against Chelsea in the Cup, you know, but then he kind of dwindled out. You know, we could have used a few, maybe not even high-profile signings, but a few loan players like Jack Wilshere on loan. Maybe that could have helped. I don't know whether they actually wanted to send him out on loan. A bit like Kevin Morales. You know, we made a bid for Morales from Everton, but they wanted to send him on the permanent. They didn't want to send him out on loan. So maybe that's why. But there could have been more players that were offered to us. You know, apparently we got offered something like 30 players on deadline day. I mean, if Bilic didn't want to sign him, David Gold or David Sullivan, you can see that our squad's not good enough. You know, you can see that we haven't got the squad depth. So why haven't you pulled your hands out your pockets? You know, they've got such deep pockets. I mean, I don't get why we really didn't buy any more players. You know, I don't get it. And if the board's blaming Bilic and, you know, they're not 100% confident in him, do they see him as a long-term manager? Probably not, because they've only given him a few extra games to try and turn this around. How many players have questioned Slaven Bilic? You know, how much of a shit start have we had to the season? How many players have questioned Slaven Bilic? Loads. What's his name? Snodgrass. As soon as he left, he said he questioned Slaven Bilic. He said when he first played, Bilic asked him, do you want to play on the right or the left? So we've just spent, I think we got him for something like 10 to 12 million. We spent 12 million on a player. You don't even know where you want to play him. It's ridiculous. Chiate's questioned it. Chiate was potentially going to leave in January. I'm glad he stayed. But he's questioned Slaven Bilic. Sacco's questioned him. So many players have questioned him. Rio Ferdinand offered to come in as a defensive coach and Bilic said no. Who is our defensive coach? Who is it? I don't know who it is. Julian Dix? It can't be Julian Dix. I mean, I don't think it's Julian Dix. If it is, then I don't know. I feel like we really need to change the manager. I just don't know. So many people have questioned him. But as well, did a board need to set up? Slaven Bilic, his tactics are a bit... It's like we're playing 19th century football. It really is at times. I mean, it is so poor. Apparently our training regime's poor. We've lost our first 3 games and conceded 10 goals, and they've gone on holiday. He's given them a break. Whereas I think it's something like Huddersfield, they've gone to Malta or something and are doing fitness training. And they're undefeated. They've just got promoted and they haven't lost a game in the Premier League. Whereas we're supposed to be trying to push for Europa League, and we're giving our players a break after conceding 10 goals and losing all our matches. You know, something needs to change. If they want to change Slaven Bilic and get in Rafa Benitez, do it now. Do it now. Apparently he's got like a 5 million buyout clause. We've just saved 35 million on not getting Carvalho. Get Rafa Benitez then. You know? And you can see that Benitez's tactics with how he played last season and how he managed Newcastle last season. You could see that he likes the short striker. You know, he played the likes of Mitrovic and Dwight Gale together. Could we play Sacco and Hernandez together, or Carroll and Hernandez? Could that work? You know, a big man, small man. That's the kind of tactics Benitez likes to use. So why don't we get him in instead of having Slaven Bilic? You know, I don't think I've got many more points to make. So anyway, guys, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys next time.